So thank you very much for sponsoring this event. As you've already said, this is going to be really very nice. I was told that this was the second U.S. Conference on PIAAC. I'm hoping, I wanted to insert annual, but you're sponsoring it, so I'm not sure I can say that. We can talk about it. In particular, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Brenda Dan Messia. Thank you. And my colleague here, a former Assistant Secretary. We were in the same venue yesterday, sending off Arnie Duncan from the U.S. Department of Education. You're from OCTAE, former OCTAE, and you're a really, really important partner here today as well. So a warm welcome to my colleagues and staff here, and I understand that there are 17 other U.S. federal government agencies here. That's pretty astonishing, really remarkable, to get many of us in the same room to be talking about the same topic. A lot of researchers here from the academic setting, think tanks, foundations, I understand, and other countries. So wow, this is really, really a rich gathering here today. So I took a look at the research papers and the authors, and I am happy to say that from my read, we have experienced researchers and their proteges, so to speak. I started to say younger, but you know how things are. Maybe they're not younger actually, but maybe younger in mind and spirit and interested in PIAAC, and that's all we sort of care about here today. Why such an interest in PIAAC? It's because it's unique and it's of high quality, and I think we will all attest to that. But also because of the outreach that has been done by people like Jolie, who was here just welcoming and thanking everyone else, and she really deserves a lot of the credit herself from AIR. And of course, OCTAE, the support there, and my own staff, I cannot leave them out. They worked very, very hard. So the uniqueness of PIAAC lies in many areas of innovation. Let's just name a few to sort of get us all on the same page. First is an international assessment and about household data collections. And here at NCES, we know that household data collections are very, very expensive. We only have two. And so we take great care when we are supporting household data collections because we know it's going to be a really, really rich investment. And so we want to make sure that that is what we're getting out of it. So it's administered by computers. Again, sort of a frontier moving innovation. We don't have many large-scale assessments now that are administered through technological devices, but this is one of the first ones out there in the field. So we're learning a lot from that. It has an adaptive component to it. So therefore, there's been improvement in measurement from a linear way that we used to collect data with these assessments. So again, another major feature. It is the first to measure adult problem-solving skills and their ability to manage information in a digital environment. Again, a first in this area. Its greater contribution is that it's measuring the key competencies that are needed for meeting the complex demands of the 21st century living environment. It brings into sharper focus the importance of these skills for the economic success and social advancement of not just individuals, but for society as a whole. As I mentioned earlier, the high level of interest in PIAAC is in part due to the extensive outreach activities that have been done on its behalf. And someone went through and did the counting, and I thought it was a little impressive. 80 presentations to national, state, and local organizations have been done since we have released these data. That, again, is very impressive, and it's a goal from a national center perspective that we always like to achieve. It's really good to do great data collections and with stellar, innovative methodologies, but no one knows about it, then you really haven't achieved any real meaningful goals at all. So I think that that's great. I am impressed with the depth and breadth of the issues that are addressed in the papers that I reviewed. The richness of the PIAAC data has allowed researchers such as yourself to come from all walks of disciplines, including education, economics, and demography, to examine issues related to critical aspects of adult lives, such as skills and workforce development, inequality, immigration, and health. So let's just take a tour of the papers that you have before you today. About 12 papers, I am told. And I'm very pleased to see that 3 of these papers are from the Center for the Study of Higher Education at Penn State University. Raise your hand, Penn State. Thank you very much for your contributions. You're going to be addressing, I understand, economic mobility in the United States, the value of skills and work, and the knowledge of the economy. Thank you for your contributions there. 2 papers will look at trend data related to factors associated with skill gain and losses, including characteristics of the jobs held for our respondents. 1 paper represents information on skills of secondary generation versus first generation immigrants across the United States. This is really an important topic, and several other advanced countries as well, not just the United States, but shedding light on the integration of education policies in the past decade. So there are a number of other papers. I can't go into as much detail for them, but they deserve a nod. There's going to be a paper on numeracy, skills of women, the relationship between health outcome and skills, basic reading skills of U.S. adults, and strategies that adults use to navigate online environments. 2 unique papers, provide insight into how PIAAC literacy and numeracy frameworks could be used to guide the teaching and learning of students, as well as professional development of educators who teach adults with low skills. So we're coming to the end of 2015, and it has brought us, I believe, a lot of success, but it also has brought us a little bit of sadness. And I say this in reference to the loss of Eugene Owen, who you and I also admired and honored his contribution to PIAAC. Over the years, the international community have really embraced his contribution, but particularly in more recent years, the national project manager for NCES for PIAAC was very instrumental in shaping PIAAC. So David, I hope it's okay. I'm going to take the prerogative and say, let's dedicate the rich discussion that we're going to have today to Eugene Owens. Is that okay? Yeah. So looking ahead to 2016, we're going to have a busy time at NCES with our partners at AIR and others in the department. We will release 3 reports this year based on supplemental PIAAC data collections. And these were conducted in 2014 to increase the sample size. We really need to have that power, the statistical power, to be able to do some of the analysis that we want to do. So 1 report will update the 2012 first look. We call it our first look report, using this enhanced data set, and it's going to focus on unemployed adults, young adults, older adults. There's going to be a second report, and it will focus on skills of younger adults from 16 to 34. We want to dig a little deeper into that cohort. And there's going to be 1 other important report on the skills of incarcerated U.S. citizens in our prisons here. So I'll close by saying at NCS we collect and publish data in hopes that the findings from secondary analysis done by meticulous and conscientious researchers such as those that are in this room today will be instrumental in the development of policies and practice based on sound science. Last year's PIAAC Research Conference showcased an effective strategy for disseminating PIAAC data. I hope we're going to replicate that moving forward. So let's just say that I am truly grateful, and I say that in all sincerity, for both the work that went into developing the papers for this conference and the work that went into making the results accessible. Thank you once again. I sincerely hope that this conference and the soon-to-be released PIAAC, our U.S. National Supplemental Data Set that I just described, will encourage more researchers and those new ones as well, those younger ones, those protégés, to make the most of the rich data set. So once again, thank you, David, and your wonderful staff and the researchers here in this room, and my colleagues from the various U.S. federal agencies, all of you, countries, representatives. You are going to have a really rich day because we all like to be in the presence of data. Thank you.